He's just cranking out like really good fucking content. And the thing with him is like he's not making build videos per se. He does have some, but he's not making like build videos and stuff. Like I mean, he does just like cool shit. Like I hated the worst class. I mean, let's
discovered what is my least favorite class in all of Diablo 4. Just take one moment here and guess.
Dude, I love the guy's fucking voice.
What do you think it is? Leave.
Dude, it's gotta be sorcerer. It's gotta be sorcerer.
Leave your comment. Take your best shot on what it is and why. No cheating. Okay, here we go. Now you might think it's the druid because
it'll be sorcerer.
And how slow of a start they have. And then I played the rogue and I said the rogue start feels so good it made me hate playing these other classes. Maybe you think it's the necromancer because I have my 1 to 50 experience on it, which is actually pretty good. Necromancer is very quickly becoming one of my favorite. You might think it's barbarian because it's my least leveled, but nope, it's actually the sorcerer.
I knew it.
Or not,
I fucking knew it. I knew it. And okay, let me try and make a prediction here. It's probably along the same lines of like my complaints about the sorcerer that I had, and that is that the sorcerer feels like you sacrifice for every inch you gain, you sacrifice 2 inches. And none of the other classes have this fucking problem. Literally. Like all of the other classes, like if we take the let's just take the necro or the fucking rogue. All of them, it's like pick this thing and it's gonna give you more crit, it's gonna give you more fortify on hit, it's gonna give you more crit damage, whatever, right? That's it, flat, done, boom. But the sorcerer, like more than fucking half of the sorcerer shit is, okay, gain 2 frost novas, but hey, guess what? The cooldown's increased. Or gain, you know, like fucking 2 teleports, but hey, the cooldown's increased. Glass cannon, deal more damage, but hey, you're gonna take more damage. None of the other fucking classes have this issue.
Almost completely hate the sorcerer, and I did not expect that at all to be the case, and I'm going to explain why. But you see, I come from games where mage was like my primary class. I played frost mage in World of Warcraft before I played like a tank and pharaoh druid. So for me, I liked the mage, or at least I thought I would like the mage in Black Desert. I also play the wizard, etc. So like there's a lot of MMOs that I have played where casters
same here
always me. And
same here
very much to like the sorcerer so much I almost actually started with the sorcerer in this game. So why would DM not like a sorcerer? Well, let's get into it. You might have seen my most fun tier list where I put sorcerer solidly at the A tier in terms.
Okay, so his most fun tier list, necromancer and rogue is an S. And then he's got druid and sorcerer in A, and then in B he's got barbarian. Dude, I don't think he likes barbarian at all, bro. I don't think he's a fan. Okay, but he's got sorcerer there in A, saying that it's more fun to play than the barbarian.
In terms of enjoyability, and I mostly put it on the A tier because of one reason, which is I like the thematics of it: the ice, the fire, the lightning. But lo and behold, as I dig deeper into each of these classes, I discover the little bits that I really love about them and really hate. And the sorcerer has a big one, which is funny because the thing I hate about it is the exact thing that I like about it. Let me explain. When you look at the sorcerer's skill trees, you really like what you have to see. Wow, Incinerate looks fun. It's a flamethrower. I can shoot chain lightning. I have the frozen orb. There's a lot of really... Yeah,
I mean, look, Blizzard did all the classics, right? All the stuff that you're expecting a sorcerer to have is in here. Cool lightning skills, everything like that. I will say, I'm not a fan of Incinerate. I think it's fucking ass. But I mean, from an aesthetic perspective, flamethrower from your hand, fucking cool shit. Chain lightning is like all of the stuff is here, right? Like we have frozen orb, which has been like a sorcerer staple since fucking jump, and fireball, and you know, all of that stuff. So I mean, the good shit is here. But
really cool abilities. And as we go through here, there's conjuration. We get to have like summons, man. That's really cool. And then you have blizzard, and you can shoot blizzard ice and all these cool things. But you know, the issue is I end up not using literally any of these abilities. If you look at my skill bar, I have defensive abilities 3.
This is the thing, and I think George is touching on it as well. The fucking problem is, right, and I'm not even talking about hardcore. I'm not even talking about hardcore, because hardcore, you're like 4 of your 6 is automatically chosen for you, because if you don't pick those 4, you will fucking die. All right, but if you play softcore, then you don't give a fuck if you die. So maybe you go like full glass cannon and you just like you just go right in. You're still pigeonholed into picking up certain things, aka like, for example, Frost Nova. If you don't pick up Frost Nova, you are literally actually fucking yourself with the sorcerer, because it is one of the best ways for you to dip into vulnerable. It's pretty much like, because you're so fucking fragile, it is the way in which you set up a lot of like your kill combos and things like that. So I don't think any other class necessarily has this problem. Maybe Barbarian. With Barbarian, like, unless you're using fucking 3 shouts, you're a bitch, right? And I'm guessing that's maybe the reason why he also downvoted Barbarian. I haven't watched, but I'm guessing. But this is an issue where you're forced to take something, and that's not great.
You should run even 4 defensive abilities, because when you look at the sorcerer, not only is the sorcerer extremely squishy, but when you look at the sorcerer, its defensive abilities are so good and so necessary, especially for hardcore, which is what I'm playing, where you kind of need the immunity of the flame shield. And Frost Nova is your only way really to get vulnerability in this class. And then teleport's like one of your only ways to get unstoppable outside of an aspect, and is your gap closer, etc. That you just end up running just an absolute million defensive abilities, which feels terrible because your bar is just
I love it,
full of like flame shield, ice shield, teleport, Frost Nova, and then you don't actually get to use. And then you look out here like a kid looking through his window at all the people playing outside, and you're like, I want to use Meteorite, but if you do, you just feel stupid. Now, granted, if you're not playing hardcore and you can,
he's fucking right.
Seconds, you can remove the flame shield, no problem. So that brings up 1 additional spot on the bar. But when you actually look at it, it's pretty hard to get away from Frost Nova at all. And almost
you can't.
anything.
You can't drop it.
When I'm playing fire,
if you're playing fucking ice shards, you need Frost Nova. If you're playing fucking ball lightning, you need fucking that. If you're playing the Blizzard build, you need that. Every fucking build with sorcerer, it doesn't matter what you're playing, like Frost Nova is a fucking enabler.
I'm using Frost Nova. When I was doing Frost, I was using Frost Nova. I'm trying lightning now. Guess what I'm using? Frost Nova. And while I've seen the videos, I've seen the level 100 videos of Sorcerer popping off and killing Uber Lilith and doing all of these crazy things. And yeah, I've seen the video of the ice shards bouncing between everyone like a machine gun and just really going crazy. I know it exists. I know it can be fun at the higher level, all right? I'm saying when I'm playing through it, especially as the hardcore at the moment, I feel like every time I try to do something, like I'm like, let me get the firewall going. So I start building firewall because I thought that was really cool. That was my first thing. And then every time I start like doubling down, like, okay, let me try to get the build a little bit more serious here. I just keep coming back to stuffing a million goddamn defensive properties into my bar. So most of my abilities end up being abilities to make sure I can just stay alive, or abilities that then I can do something else with, which means I'm once again just kind of spamming whatever the core ability is, which I guess kind of comes down to most classes. But I mean, compare that against like the rogue, for instance.
I mean, this is the reason what I just said. Like, literally, the fucking sorcerer that I'm playing right now does not use a basic ability because I just don't have enough space on my bar. So I've had to, and again, this is not like a fucking me problem, but the point is, like, if you want to play that way, if you want to build like ice shards, which he's mentioned now, the point is then you need to completely gear your build.
That he knew he fucked up.
You need to completely gear your build towards like mana fucking regen, lucky hit mana regen, like all of that stuff. It's a lot of the shit that I was talking about last night on stream as well, where I was like, you kind of like you have to like hard go in on lucky hit, or like it's the only class out of the 5 where I feel like I'm being fucking told, hey, if you don't play this way, fuck you, you're gonna die.
Rogue 41 so far in the sorcerer here. I'm working on my necromancer at the moment, and I'm debating either finishing the hardcore sorcerer.
Noble Wolf, you're welcome, baby.
But if I compare against the rogue, like there's a pretty good argument to be made for almost any of these abilities.
Yes, and you could use them
Puncture seems
all.
to be pretty good for the basic, but when you
You
look
could
at
even the fucking range rogue, which people are saying is a fucking joke and it's never gonna be a thing. Range rogue is fucking good, man.
like you can use twisting blades, you can use barrage, you can use rapid fire. I've heard people tell me to use flurry. I haven't seen anything for penetrating shot, but you can use like almost all of these, right? Then there's shadow step's good. Dash seems to be pretty good. I don't know about caltrops and
Caltrops is shit.
but I mean dark shroud's definitely good. Concealment I've seen people use. Smoke grenade maybe. Poison trap.
Poison trap
I've
is
seen that.
fucking goated.
Or shadow imbuement and poison imbuement. People argue back and forth about this one. I like poison. but I've
HD,
seen
you're
people
welcome,
argue
man.
for both of them. Then we go in here. Definitely seen death trap be used. Rain of arrows. I'm not sure I like, but I've heard it can be used. And then shadow.
I love
Torch
Rain
is
of
really
Arrows.
good. So it's like 80% of the skills are immediately usable and are actually good. Whereas I would have thought that variety would have been in the class that's like the mage, that you have fire, ice, lightning. Like it felt to me like that this level of variety would have been within the other class. I mean, Druid's starting to have the same thing here too. People are using a good variety of builds here. We've obviously seen tornado stuff. I've done pulverized stuff. I heard shred starting to be, although this might be a bug. I'm seeing people hit for like, shout out to Moxie.
Yeah, I think the shred thing, like there's a couple of things happening right now. Like there's also Rob did a video where he was showing like a weird interaction with like bleed, and that's I think those are bugs. I don't know. I don't think you're supposed to, like, I don't know if you guys have seen Shred fucking Werewolf. It's ridiculous, like really ridiculous. But yeah, Rogue's probably the best character in terms of build variety. Yeah, and probably in terms of like aesthetic and just being able to be kind of like good at everything. Yeah, sure. I could buy into that.
Showed me a clip on Twitter of him like hitting 1.8 billion white damage or something. So like that's got to be a bug or something. But then Bulwark, another one that's probably a bug. But then, most of these abilities here, I think Companions are a little bit of a flop. But most of these, I know Poison Creeper some people use. I think it was CZ Product that left a comment in one of my videos explaining Poison Creeper can be quite good in the Nature's Fury build I posted. But if you look at some of these other ones, like people are using most of these abilities.
Yeah.
I mean, people are using most of these abilities. And that I don't experience that in Sorcerer. I mean, if we just type in Diablo 4 Sorcerer's build, like
it's all ice shards.
Ice shards. Ice shard. Never run out of mana again.
Infinite ice shards. Let's go, dude.
All ice shards. Here's one that I guess is a ball lightning build.
Ball lightning's good. I would have built that at 100.
Anywhere. Two more Uber Lilith Ice Shard. I watched this one. This was a good one. This one,
dude. I think the first thing that we need to do, we need to walk away from with this video, is how the fuck, all right, is he not using dark mode on his fucking browser? Like he's got the classic fucking white, dude. This shit is like literal like fucking bleach on my eyes.
I've seen people do with the Sorcerer here, so shout out to this guy. And then here's another hybrid Ice Shard. Like it's just a load of Ice Shard. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna
you're not
give
wrong.
up on it yet because definitely it's way too early. I mean, I'm only level 48. Granted, I'm playing hardcore in mostly solo, so it's going to be a slow process. I'm trying not to die and all that. It makes for good content on the live streams though. But for the most part, I'm going to keep poking through it and see what I think at this, and I'll retouch on this at level 100 and see what I missed and what I was wrong about, etc. But I'm just saying it doesn't feel good so far. So far it doesn't feel good. The most fun I've had was the flame wall, kind of burning people and then running and kiting with the flame wall. That was like the most fun I've had. I tried this ice shards thing, and the lightning feels pretty good too. But I tried this ice shards build, and it just feels terrible. Like if I want to shoot a machine gun, I live in Alaska. Like I don't need to go into a game in order to do that. So for me, it's just a little dry. But that's just kind of my first impression so far of the Sorcerer. I thought I would like it a lot more than I do, but as time is going on, I'm enjoying it less and less. So when my hardcore character dies, and you can watch it on the live stream, finding the pin comment in the description, which might happen.
Guys, obviously, absolutely go fucking. If for some reason you don't know who this guy is, there's a far bigger chance that you know who he is before you know who I am. But he's a fucking great dude. I had him on the podcast. It was super interesting to talk to him. I wish you could have spent more than an hour talking. But yeah, absolutely go fucking check him out. He's just a fucking hoot, and I agree with pretty much everything that he said here. I just have a huge problem with the fact that he's using light mode on YouTube. But that could also just be like a me problem, right? Fucking cheers.